guys. So just got out of the shower and just wanted to tell you guys about something that I was feeling actually in the earlier part of my journey, was that balance often felt like giving up on myself. Like after 5 years of strictly counting macros, like to a T, if I went over, I would go punish myself with more exercise, or I would eat less the next day, or try to, which would always result in a binge because my body was trying to tell me something. You know, my body was always trying to give me signals of, if it was like, hey, I'm really craving this, it was like, hey, please give me some more carbs or more sugars, like you're really depriving me. And I always felt like, come on, willpower, like we're better than this, we can do this. And it always felt like giving up on myself. So it's hard when you're walking into this world of balance and you're trying to bridge that gap, because sometimes you can often feel like you're not doing the right thing because you've lived in such a rigid, strict world before. Or maybe you lived in a world that was the complete opposite of like no structure whatsoever. So it's kind of like bridging that gap in between the two. And, you know, don't forget that sometimes self-care, it can mean something different every day. Like I strictly focus on like what my body needs every day. So it's not always workouts. Some days, like tomorrow, I'm gonna need a rest. Like my body has just been, like even today, my workout just didn't seem as like, So it's like, okay, body, we've gone 6 days in a row. I usually don't go 6 days in a row. I'll take a break in between or something. But in quarantine, this has just been something that I've needed, and it's made me feel good. And today was a sign like, hey, we need to slow down a bit. So tomorrow is going to be a rest day, and that's okay. Like I don't need to go #no days off, beast mode all the time. Like I've lived that life, and I know the consequences that come with it. And doesn't mean I've given up on myself. It just means that I'm taking care of myself now. So it just depends on the way that you look at things. Like your mindset around this is everything. And it's hard when, you know, your friends at your gym or, you know, with whatever you're a part of, they're in a different world. They're either in that all-in mindset, or they're in the, hey man, let's have a cheat day. Let's go take a break, do this, do that. And it's either one or the other. And I kind of combine the two. I put a little more Mondays into my Saturdays, a little more Saturdays in my Mondays. So I like to find that middle ground, because this is where my sustainable life lives. So I can still go hard, but I go hard in balance. Like I do believe still in putting myself through some kind of struggle, doing something that scares me every day, which often is lifting. And I can say that because squats scared the shit out of me because of my hip. I have like two tendons that like kind of fling against each other, and then they make this like popping noise. And I went to physical therapy, I went to my doctor, they've all checked it out. It's nothing that's gonna be like detrimental to where I'm just gonna fall over one day or break something. It's just I forget which ones they called. I'm not a physical therapist or anything. And it just pops, and it scares me every time I do it. And to me, that's a struggle I can put myself through every day. It's a fear of getting past the victimization of, oh, you're hurt, you can't do this. I've always been that person that if you tell me I can't do something, it makes me want to do it more. And I've always been that person where I like when two worlds that don't mix go together. So my husband pulled up a picture the other day of me in dreadlocks, because in high school, I was friends with pretty much everybody. I was a tennis player, so you think like preppy tennis player, right? And I had dreadlocks. So I've always been that person that liked things that don't go together. I like the things that don't mesh. Hence the reason why I'm putting balance into this world. Back in the day when I was a bodybuilder, it was because I wanted to be a strong female bodybuilder. Like women weren't supposed to have muscles, so I want to have muscles. So it was always the going against the grain. And to me, this is like, I know this fits. I know this works. It's going against the grain. It's fitting the two together that people are like, you can't fit those two together. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show you. So, all right, I'm hungry. Are you hungry, Reba? We need to go eat. All right, I've been trying to get some more greens in lately, so we're gonna try something. Some kale, spinach, a couple of cucumbers, some ginger, and lemon. I try and just blend it. Juicing I love, but it just takes way too long. So, and the cleanup is just awful. So, see how this works. Not bad. There's no like definitive, like use this amount of this and that, just toss a handful in of each. But I did add some cranberry juice, which I'm really happy I did because it makes it like a little bit sweeter. And it's refreshing. It really is. I'd probably use a little bit less water next time. So, decent. I'm very hungry. It is lunch. It's about 1 o'clock-ish, and I'm just gonna go with it. And I'm gonna have. It is so hard, babe. I'm gonna have our leftover spaghetti from the other night and meatballs with Parmesan cheese, some garlic bread. Probably gonna want a brownie, and then I have some whole milk. I like whole milk because I used to drink almond milk all the time, and it was just watered down milk. Doesn't really have any nutrients in it, and I don't have a lactose allergy, so. I really like the taste of whole milk, and it gives me more vitamins, fats, proteins, all the good stuff. So, all right, let's eat. Let's talk about spaghetti. So spaghetti was my last food that had to be taken down from the pedestal. In my experience with giving myself full permission on all foods from a place of restriction and strict macros and counting strict macros, spaghetti was like the last thing, because it was like, carbs are so bad, don't eat carbs. And then it's like a plate of carbs with a carb on the side, and then not a lean meat, but like a fattier meat in there. And then of course I had to have cheese with it too, because I love Parmesan cheese on my spaghetti. So spaghetti was always a big sticking point for me. I'm almost proud whenever I eat it now, because I remember how fearful and I used to feel around it. And I remember the anxiety I would get, like, oh my God, I just ate spaghetti. I have to go work it off. I can't do this again. This can't happen again. You're a healthy person. Why are you doing this? And I would beat myself up for it. But now it's totally different, and I'm excited that I can eat spaghetti again. And I feel full. I feel satisfied. I only ate half of my brownie on there because it just needed like a little bit of sweetness. So I'm probably just gonna save the other half for tonight after dinner. And I think we're getting Chinese tonight. Not every day has to be like full-on health, and not every day has to be full-on cheat day. You can have both. So that's what this whole thing is about. It's about bridging that gap. And my whole theory on this is as long as you're doing something over 50% of the time, then you're doing it. And in this world of balance, that's what it is. Like, you don't have to have vegetables at every meal if you don't want to. You can do it 2 out of your 3 meals. You know what I mean? Or however you want to do it. But and some days you might not have any. Like, it's okay. Your body is going to naturally balance itself out. Like, trusting that your body will do that is one of the hardest things, because we've had no trust in our bodies. The diets have always taken them away. So that's it. So, all right, we'll see you guys probably around dinner time. Going on a walk through the woods, and this one will not let me put him down. So this is like a second workout. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Go! You wanna run fast? Oh.